Good morning, guys. Well, another video from me on the heels of the ones yesterday. We're going to have a quick look at an article from the Motley Fool of all places. It's if you're not aware, it's kind of an investing tips sort of website. I don't really do stocks. I just have, retirement money set away. Is probably something at my age I should pay a little bit more attention to, but they're actually weighing in on this OGL issue. Like a stock and finance website has some info, so I don't want to bury the lead. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in and take a look at that. Let's pop over there. And this is Fool.com, the Motley Fool. This is yesterday, I guess. Yeah, yesterday. Hasbro's D&D division is big business, accounting for up to 72% of company profits. And it's in trouble. Don't look now, but gaming giant Hasbro may have just failed a critical dice roll. Aw, that's cute. They're trying to use our lingo. That's cute. For the past several weeks, Hasbro has been embroiled in a brouhaha of its own making. Under the leadership of newish CEO Chris Cox, the former head of the company's fast-growing Wizards of the Coast roleplay gaming unit. Gosh, could you guys? That's like the most stilted, I guess when you're speaking to guys like Randolph and Mortimer Duke, you gotta dumb it down a little bit, right? Former head of the Wizards of the Coast roleplay gaming unit, Hasbro has been moving to better monetize its intellectual property under the Dungeons and Dragons brand. Yes, because it's under monetized. Remember that, boys and girls. It's not going well for Hasbro, however. Now, I can read a line graph, and I can see that their stock is down for today already. And that's over a year. Look at that crater. Look at that crater, guys. It's kind of bouncing back up. We'll see what it does. But yeah, not doing well over 52 weeks. It's hard to overestimate how important Wizards of the Coast is to Hasbro. According to data from S&P Global Market Intelligence, it accounts for just 22% of Hasbro's annual revenue, but produces a staggering 72% of Hasbro's profit. I'd have to get somebody a better financial brain than mine in here to explain that one to me. The problem is Hasbro wants more. We're well aware of that, Motley Fool, okay? They've got us by the D20s and they are squeezing. Late last month, news leaked that Hasbro has been mooting a new open gaming license for use of its D&D intellectual property, characterized as an update of the company's current OGL 1.0, which was first published in 2000. This new OGL version 1.1 would focus on tabletop role-playing game supplements, such as printed materials and PDFs, which Hasbro notes are by far the most common form of distribution of D&D content. We ain't too clever by half there. Under OGL 1.0, Hasbro granted a perpetual worldwide non-exclusive license to copy. We know all this. 1.1 voids this license. All right. You can try. All right. You can try. Because there's plenty of voices saying that isn't so. Let's continue. Anyone creating content with use of Hasbro's intellectual property and selling that content for profit would need to report to Hasbro on everything it is selling and inform Hasbro of its annual revenue from such sales if it exceeds $50,000. See, remember, they started out with like $75,000 for that and $750,000 for we just going to take 20 to 25% of what you make. And note, so far, it may be later in there, but so far, they're not mentioning the sweetheart deals. They're not mentioning the, dare I say it, price fixing that they're doing with other publishers. And just to be clear, yes, I said royalties on the revenue, not just on any profit earned. What's the difference? You're taking money from me. Why would Hasbro do this? Well, why would Hasbro do this? Dungeons and Dragons fans are upset by the move. And some much more than others. In particular, as Gizmodo pointed out last week, we covered that last night, startup companies such as Cobalt Press, Green Ronin, and Paizo, makers of the Pathfinder D&D spin-off RPG, essentially built their business in reliance on the original OGL. It's not just them, Motley. It's all the way down to guys like my friends over at Hellebard Games. That may even be Hasbro's intention. As new OGL 1.1 states, OGL 1.0 wasn't intended to fund major competitors, and it wasn't intended to allow people to make D&D apps, videos, or anything other than printed or printable materials for use while gaming. We are updating the OGL in part to make that very clear. So basically, if you got some web widget out there, some dice roller, like I use dungeon.bin.sh all the time. The Dragon's Foot character generator that Kyle likes to use. Yeah, they're basically saying, we're going to shut all that down. And if the switcheroo, that's a polite way to say it, whoops. If the switcheroo in licensing agreements happens to kneecap a few Hasbro competitors in the process, well, c'est la vie. Or so Hasbro thought. On Friday last week, Hasbro pulled an abrupt volte-face and has its subsidiary D&D Beyond publish a mea culpa on its website, arguing that its only goal in revising the OGL was to protect players from hateful and discriminatory products, control usage of its intellectual property, and NFTs and blockchain. NFTs, that still cracks me up. That still cracks me up. I can just imagine some, and I know that they're probably younger than me, but that is such a boomer moment. I can see that being discussed around the board table at Hasbro. So what do we got with these, what do we got with these blockchains? These blockchains, do we buy those at Home Depot? And how about your NFTs? The kids are all about NFTs, right? We should put some NFT knowledge in there. And prevent major corporations using Hasbro's IP for their own commercial and promotional purpose. Literally a month ago, you apparently didn't have a problem with this. I mean, I know this has been coming a long time, but at what point did you decide that the goose laying one golden egg a week wasn't enough for you? Faced with backlash from that community, however, Hasbro now admits, we rolled a 1. The company failed critically. Now Hasbro is confirming that content already released under the OGL will remain unaffected. Many other users of the company's intellectual property will similarly remain permitted. Most importantly, Hasbro confirms that OGL 1.1 will not contain any royalty structure. It will also not include the license back provision mentioned above. Now, this gets into some of the propeller head stuff that I don't understand, and I apologize for that. Anyway, putting a brave face on the fiasco, Hasbro argues that this solution is actually a win-win for itself and its customers, saying, they won and so did we. That is going to go down in the annals of dumb things corporations have said. But, in fact, if you assume as I admit I do, that the primary goal of redrawing the OGL was to better monetize the company's Dungeons & Dragons properties, grow revenue for Hasbro, and earn more profits for Hasbro shareholders, then it's hard to see this outcome as anything but an abject failure for Hasbro's business. An abject failure. That's Motley Fool. That's not Bill Sylvie. That's Motley Fool. That's not the Dungeon Delver. That's them saying, Hasbro, you are an abject failure. The company may eventually come out with a new OGL, but the chances of this document generating significant income for Hasbro now appear to be nil. Guys, they're in a crash dive. It's right there. This is a major financial news outlet, okay? This isn't just us. All right? This is a financial news outlet. For the time being, this doesn't seem to have affected Hasbro's stock, which actually gained 1.5% as the tempest in Hasbro's teapot brewed. I suspect, however, that this is mainly because the issue has remained below most non-D&D fanatics' radars. Once the effects of the fiasco start showing up in Hasbro's financial results, however, I expect investors may come to the same conclusion that I already have. Hasbro's critics won this round. Hasbro didn't. And guys, this is why you've got to make your voices heard. Go out there on financial forums. Tell your friends who play the stock market, whether they're day traders, whatever. Hey, Wizards of the Coast, the subsidiary of Hasbro that's responsible for like 72% of their profits, they lost 40,000 subscriptions to D&D Beyond. They're taking a big PR hit right now. Should you invest $1,000 in Hasbro right now? Before you consider Hasbro, you'll want to hear this. The Motley Fool Stock Advisor analyst team just revealed their best 10 best buys, and this is just a clickbaity kind of thing. So that's really it. Hasbro's critics won the round. We're winning, okay? This is a third party. This is not geek media, guys. We are winning this fight. We are winning. That is some of the best news I have seen. I'm going to get this out there. I'm going to share this with you guys. Please, look, there's been a tremendous outpouring of support for this channel and what I do, the news and the fun I try to bring you guys. So thank you all so very much for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. I cannot thank you enough. If you're just coming by, if the algorithm directed you here, please consider subscribing. Leave a like on the video. If you like it, leave a comment below. Tell me what you liked about it. But yeah, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications. And as I get more information, I'll bring it to you guys. We're having an impact. Read the article. I will link it below. We are having an impact, guys. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to wake up to. Listen, everybody have a great day. Stay strong, and we'll see you next time. Peace.